So let me paint this picture. Imagine you're in a position that serves the public. Even when you're not at work, you represent an organisation that is meant to be held to the highest standard. This is both morally and ethically. You are actually decent at your job too. But then you throw all that away by breaking lockdown rules in order to attend a booze fest, and then to top it all off, you decide that while drunk you can actually drive home, and then you crash into a house. That's exactly what a 24-year-old policewoman from South Wales did. So Police Constable Tasia Stephens has lost her job for allegedly breaching lockdown rules in order to attend a family party. Again, just to be clear, the key word here is allegedly. When she finally had enough of drinking, she then made the fatal mistake of deciding she was capable enough of driving home despite the fact she was found to be over the legal limit, and then again, I can't emphasise this enough, she crashed into a wall. The 24-year-old who was part of the South Wales police force did the drinking in her free time. Now normally, when people are in their free time, they are a totally different person from how they are at work. But being a police officer, you do represent the police community 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. There are no days off, which means every single unethical thing that you do, it is going to be scrutinised. To put it into simplest terms, she effed up the moment she thought it was a good idea to break lockdown rules to attend a family party. She knew the rules probably better than any other person, so when the incident took place during the first lockdown in April of last year, she knew under the strict stay-at-home rules, people in Wales were banned from meeting either indoors or outdoors with people from other households. Now, during the hearing with the misconduct panel, the police officer's solicitor attempted to justify her rule breaking by stating that during that time, the police officer was distressed after dealing with her first sudden death while on duty, so she felt obligated to visit her aunt's house on the evening in April to seek comfort and help as to how to process it all. However, things then took a turn for the worst, which was also told news of historic sexual allegations against a family member. Now, if that's the truth, then I can understand the need for drinking, because that's some deep issues to deal with. However, even an idiot knows not to drink and drive. Or if it's that bad of a situation, stay at the aunt's house until you're sober. A police officer's conduct would have been the first thing the young officer would have been taught during her time in the police force. Another thing is, rightly or wrongly, people in her position of authority or in a higher position believe that they can justify their actions from stress or from their personal lives. But when it comes to everyday Joes, he could be working an 18-hour shift in an entry-level job that can barely cover rent, council tax and food for his wife and kids, and God forbid he drives without insurance because he missed a month's payment, his car will be seized. There's no grace period or leniency with people like us. It's the same thing with COVID. Do you think the average Joe could be out during lockdown, drinking a beer on a bench and avoid a £200 fine because he just lost his mum or dad suddenly? The police officer would give him the fine and call him irresponsible and tell him to do better and then just leave. There again, there's no grace period or leniency for normal people. In regards to her defence, the misconduct panel ignored her defence by saying it was more likely that the 24-year-old police officer, Tasia Stephens, wanted company, took a bottle of wine to the house, drank alcohol there, and then chose to drive home. The misconduct panel was also told once Tasia Stephens left the four-person party and got in a vehicle to drive off, she was told by two colleagues whom did not notice she was drunk, or it could be the case of they just didn't care, who knows. All they did was remind her of the lockdown rules and then let her continue on her way. She then drove just under 2 more miles before crashing into a wall of a shop in Jelly Road, Penta. So not only did she F up her career, but she also managed to cause the shop to take a financial loss, since the shop had to make repairs before the shop could reopen again. Once she crashed, the general public swooped in, as they do, and phoned her colleagues, again the police force. Once the police arrived, they told the hearing panel that they noticed PC Stephens was extremely upset, saying she wanted to kill herself, and made reference to the crime said to have been committed by a family member. During the case, PC Tasia Stephens did plead guilty to driving under the influence of alcohol and was given a conditional discharge for 12 months, banned from driving for 15 months. She also accepted that she attended the party, driving when unfit and being convicted in a court. Again, she also accepted each of the allegations amounts to discreditable conduct and amounted to gross misconduct with the panel, later reaching the same decision. For her actions, the 24-year-old police constable was also placed on the police barred list, which will prevent her from joining a police force again, but she does have the right to appeal. Of course, she was fired from her job, and that's her police career over at 24 years old. Safe.